I'm here today with Ann Lynch, the Executive Director of the Center for Grieving Children. Welcome, Ann.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
Good to be here.
Do tell us a little bit about the center, and then we'll talk about why you're really here.
Right. The Center for Grieving Children was started in 1988, and Bill Hemmons, the founder, had his only sister, his only sibling, who was 39. And she was diagnosed with a life-threatening illness. Actually, it was terminal. And she had a 9-year-old daughter. So when his sister died, he was struggling so much with his own feelings that he felt he needed to find something to support his niece and help him with his niece. And so he looked around Portland, and there was nothing. There were groups for adults, but nothing for children. So as time would have it, a couple of months later, he saw a piece, and on ABC, one of the morning channels, I believe, about this place out in Portland, Oregon. So he went out there, he went through their training, and he came back here, and he started the Center for Grieving Children. He tapped into his savings for about 2 years in order to get it started. What's really unique about the center is that it is a volunteer model, people from the community who go through a 30-hour training, and they're there to support the children and the families. And the magic that happens for the families is that children get to be with other children who've had a similar experience. And it's a family model, so the whole family can come at the same time, and each child can access their own age-appropriate group. We have a program for when somebody in the family dies. We also have a program where families are dealing with a life-threatening illness. And we've also a program that works with refugee and immigrant children, and that's an afternoon school program with Portland Public Schools.
Because they've dealt with loss.
Because they've dealt with the loss. And then also we have an outreach program where we go out to schools or community or a business place if somebody has died or they're struggling with supporting somebody who has maybe been diagnosed with an illness.
Oh my goodness, I hadn't realized that you did quite that much.
Yes, because people say Center for Grieving Children, but yet there's a lot behind the scenes. Yes.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be grieving for a parent. It can be a sibling.
It can be a sibling, it can be an aunt, uncle,
someone who is close
somebody
and has
who is very
affected
close to them. Yes, absolutely.
Well, this new initiative, you are combining forces with Sesame Street?
Yes, Sesame Street and the United Military Forces University has developed this DVD, and they have asked 7 centers like ours. So we're lucky to be one of the 7 to be chosen.
7 in the country?
7 in the country.
Oh.
And this DVD is something that we want to get out to families, and there is, if they're willing to do so, and go on the internet and fill out a survey before they watch it and afterwards, because they're trying to find out if people find this DVD helpful, because they would hope to get it out to many families. Not many families can come to a Center for Grieving Children. I mean, we were the 3rd center in the U.S. There's now 300, but this is a very big, very big country. So.
And the Portland, Oregon Center was the first?
That was the first, and the second one was in Ohio.
Okay, so from Portland to Portland.
Exactly, exactly. We always say the other Portland.
But they did do us a favor by
sure did.
Leading the way.
They sure did.
Now, Sesame Street had a program on dealing with grief.
Yes, they did. They really went behind the scenes with PBS and Katie Couric and Elmo and put together this program. And it's an interesting mix of using Elmo and that aspect of it to reach the younger children in the family. And then they also interview 4 different families who have different types of losses. So actually there was an airing that went out on PBS, but it was a slightly different angle than what this DVD is about.
Now, did you apply to be a part of this pairing, or did they come to you?
They came to us. There's a group of us who actually started a national alliance for grieving children, and so they sought out the older centers in the country. So
as a guide.
As a guide, yes. But also it'll provide very good information for families, for foundations, to help support more children.
And I'm sure you're seeing more and more all the time as people find out about you and what you do.
Yes, indeed. A piece that we do that people don't really realize is we do an awful lot over the phone.
Oh, I hadn't realized
We
that.
talk to families even before they sit down with the children to tell them whatever the news might be, and we help them with the words, we help them with how much information to share. So we do a lot, as well as children and families coming into the centre physically.
Now, if people want to get more information, what can they do, Anne?
They can call us at 775-5216, or they can go on the internet at www.cgcmaine.org.
Well, it sounds like a wonderful opportunity to learn more about how to deal with grief.
Exactly, so that adults
Thank
can
you.
support children, yes.
Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you.
Back to you, Tom.